de você, moça flor. Te lembrei 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 de você, moça flor.
Welcome. We are back. Another green day in the market on the back of CPI data this morning. I'm really bad with checking this stuff. Again, I just react to like literally what the market does. But we can find the specific numbers. I'm sure Chetta put it somewhere. Gabe over here said CPI would, I said last night on stream CPI would come in below 8.8%. Inflation came in at 8.5% from 9.1% peak. So we had that CPI data this morning. The market, I believe, gapped up very nicely off that and kind of consolidated for a little bit. The price action this week overall, I mean, it's just been a little bit messy intraday at least. Like you're getting these gap up and gap downs, but the intraday price action like is just very choppy. For an example, this was pretty much the most of your price action from today, just this range over here. Then if we go back to yesterday, this was pretty much most of your price action yesterday. So you can see it's just like you get like the moves overall. The moves are happening in the market, but it's like during the day it's just very low volume, very dry. You did get a nice little move in like the final hour of the day today, a pretty good power hour. But just really interesting to see that. We have been having some earnings this week. Today looks like there was Disney. Let me go see how that did really quickly. So Disney was up 7% after hours on earnings. Also had Wendy's in the morning, Wix, Jack in the Box. Tomorrow there is Rivian. Keep an eye on that one. Like just in general, I'm not saying it's going in either direction, but that was a pretty big IPO not too long ago. And yeah, it's really it for the market. I mean, we're obviously going to get back to the technicals in a little bit. I'm going to start off with crypto. After that, I'm going to talk about some other markets. Then I will actually give my in-depth analysis on the stock market, my thoughts on where the market is headed. Just a little bit of a preview to that. We have a little bit of a breakout taking place, which is actually surprising to me. Just not something I was thinking was going to happen today, but it did. So we've got that going on. Even the VIX is breaking down. We're going to look at all of that. And then talk about the swings. The FCEL swing, which is the most recent swing I've alerted, hit its second target today. So free for all of you in the Discord. The link's in the description if you're not in it. On July 28th, I alerted FCEL as a swing trade. And as of today, it hit the second target of that swing trade right over here for a 30% profit since the entry. Actually, no, 33% profit. So that's been going well. CLOV had a nice bounce back today. So a lot of things did really happen, which we'll get into a little bit. But before we even get into all that, let's start off with crypto. Bitcoin is also testing a breakout. Let's go down to the 4-hour. And you can look at this as just one large ascending triangle. The thing is, typically for an ascending triangle, you want them to take place after a move up. So like, you got to move up in price. And that's when you probably be looking for your ascending triangle to take place after you're kind of already going up. Right, you kind of move up into it and then you consolidate and then hopefully break to the upside. This is kind of an ascending triangle, to be honest, like after a move down, so it makes it a little bit weirder. I saw somebody reply to one of my tweets today with like the bear flag argument. You could also get like this, but also it's like regardless, I think the main thing here is just hopefully you hold the demand line, right? You have these 3 touches on the demand line from July 13th, July 26th, and August 10 today. And you bounced off of it 3 times, and now this is also your 3rd time testing this upper resistance, or actually your 4th time testing this level. So the question is, does your demand line break first, or do you break above the resistance first? One of the two will happen. It is a certainty, all right? Who knows which happens first? Hopefully it's this, but this is a big test to keep an eye on for Bitcoin. And again, this is a huge pattern. This is probably the largest pattern it's had in quite some time. This is pretty much a month-long pattern. So the whole entire month of price action led up to this pattern, which you're now kind of getting towards the end of. So, you know, over the next few days, keep an eye on whichever way this breaks out. If it breaks to the upside, then hopefully it taps that first target at 25.3K in terms of the Bitcoin swing. We also have Litecoin, which is another crypto swing I recently alerted. That's currently up 10% since the entry. Decent bounce back today after the bearish engulfing candle yesterday. Overall, you're kind of just developing a little bit of a range here between just above the entry at 56 and like 65-ish. So you're like dead middle in the range. See which way that breaks. And then we have the crypto trades that already hit targets. Link is actually going higher after the first target. Second target's up at 952. And currently the Link crypto trade is up 42% since I alerted it again. All of this is in the Discord. This was actually in the Crypto Alerts channel. There you go. This was the Link setup on July 17th, not too long ago. And look at it now, up 42% since then. We also have Ethereum, which is on its way to its third target. Ethereum was alerted around the same time, and it is up 63%. All right, let's go back to the same channel. Scroll up a little bit. Let's see when this was. June 21st. All right, so in like what, a month and a half? Yeah, about in a month and a half, Ethereum has gone up 62% since it was alerted here. So hopefully it gets up to that third target. There's really not much resistance until then, around 2100. You just broke out of this 1700 resistance level. It's also interesting to see Ethereum really leading the way ahead of Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't even broken its highs from back over here at the end of last month. Ethereum is making new highs in a bullish engulfing candle today for Ethereum. So definitely leading. Interesting to see that. Keep an eye on it. What's up in the chat? Jack saying, have a good stream. I'm going to head to bed. Over in Europe, it is much later. And Jack also saying another stock pick heading to the ETF tomorrow. Yeah, make sure you keep an eye on that. This is basically a Discord promo stream at this point. I mean, everything's just going back to the Discord. We have the ETF Simulator. Yesterday, Lord Bogendorf did add QIPT to that. This is doing pretty well since we restarted it. So there's that as well. All of the things I just talked about are free. And that's pretty much your crypto. What's up, KTF? What's up, Darwin? Medi, how you doing? Anna's saying, I will break my legs first. Okay, hopefully you don't. 63%, yes, that is the move on Ethereum. And what's up, Adit and Danny and Darwin saying a lot of cult de-SPACs seem to be breaking out. I don't know, you're just referring to like the original SPACs. I haven't looked at a lot of them in a long time. But maybe they are. I'm sure probably tonight was going to be the first time we're going to have time for ticker requests in some time. So stay tuned for that. If you have any tickers you want me to look at after I do all my coverage, I'll let you know when I'm ready to do those, hopefully if I have time. And now we have the other markets, the US 10-year retesting the breakdown, not only of this bearish head and shoulders pattern, but also this bear flag. Bearish structure, in my opinion, just kind of consolidating, doing nothing for right now. And we've got crude oil futures, pretty much the same analysis as yesterday. You do have confirmed classic bullish divergence, but you also have quite a bit of resistance just above you with trend lines, moving averages, previous supports, a lot of different things going on over there. Take a look at energy for a second, just in general. Kind of dead in the middle of this range, but you did get another bounce off this support. This $70 level on the XLE, the energy select sector, was resistance back here, and then it flipped into support over here and over here, and you just bounced off of it again. So next resistance is kind of the top of this little area at around 78. Then we have metals, shooting start candle on gold today. Now this is where it gets interesting because you know, I talked about how bullish I was on the metals down here. Go back to the streams towards the end of July. You got this nice rally, but now it's kind of flipping. And I'm even surprised in the fact that it broke above like 1780, because that was a pretty real level from previous lows. But now take a look at this. If you break back under 1780 on gold, you now have a shooting star candle and also hidden bearish divergence. Silver, actually not as bad, more of like a doji candle for silver today. Also have that same hidden bearish divergence though. This is really interesting actually. The dollar currency index, huge move down today. And this probably was related to, I don't know, yeah, 7 o'clock. This was probably related to CPI. So this is a 1% drop on a 4-hour candle. That's the largest red candle I've seen in a very long time. I mean, yeah. Wow, that's a huge change. It's probably the biggest like 4-hour candle that was a red candle a really long time for the dollar currency index. Let's actually take a look at the euro to the dollar now. Yeah, you can see the euro starting to kind of show some strength compared to the dollar, at least right now. We did chart this channel not too long ago. I'm going to be heading to Europe this time next week, so hopefully it doesn't go up too much until then, but euro kind of bouncing up over here. And that's really it for the other markets, and let's head on over to the stock market. Today was a very big day from a technical standpoint. We've been talking about a very specific level all week. It looked like that level was being rejected, and the one thing I kept saying was it's probably going to come down to CPI. Even though it looked like it was breaking down yesterday, even though it looked like we were rejecting resistance yesterday, we had the shooting star candles on Monday, all that bearish stuff, the bearish divergence that we were talking about. I kept on saying it's still probably going to come down to CPI. That's the big thing that most people are focusing on this week. And with that move up from CPI today, you kind of got saved from a lot of bearish technicals forming that we were talking about so far this week on the stream. Right, last night we were talking about that classic bearish divergence, which was developing. It still has the potential to eventually play out, but with this increased positive momentum today, this darker green histogram wick, that is at least stalling out the bearish divergence on the S&P 500 for right now. You're not losing positive momentum like you were for the past few days over here. Also, the volume was another key thing I was looking at. We were talking about how it's pretty bearish that the volume was going lower the more that we were going up. But today, if you really zoom in over here, was actually your first day that you had like this higher volume since August 3rd, about exactly a week ago. So, inclining volume on the move up, gap up, which does, leave this gap to be filled around 413-ish. So you did gap up today. But also, if we go over to the 4 hour, this is just some more stuff that got invalidated. Remember we were talking about how you were testing this breakdown yesterday on this red trend line or demand line. You were testing that breakdown again. You're well above it for right now. Also, we had the classic bearish divergence, which did confirm, but really did not do much. Maybe just this was it for at least for so far. And then same thing on the 1 hour. You were testing this breakdown over here, and the gap up just kind of saved everything. So that was really what you got saved from in terms of the bearish technicals that were forming, which are now kind of invalidated, at least for the time being. Of course, later on you could retest the breakdown at some point. But the big thing here is you broke above the huge zone. I've been charting this the whole entire week, talking about how big this level was. This was your lows from the beginning of the year. It was your highs in June. It was your highs for the past week, and you broke above this resistance level. You took it out. So this is the first time we've seen these prices since the beginning of May. All right, so the first time in about 3 months that you've been at these prices on the SPY. So you're clearly above this whole entire level. That was the key resistance level. So that is now your key support. All right, this 416, 417 area is now your key support for the S&P 500. That's what you're going to want to keep an eye on. In terms of resistance, now you don't have much. You just took out the major resistance. There isn't much resistance on the SPY up till 425. Now let's just say somehow like you keep going in this autopilot mode, you keep rallying and you get up to that 425 level, right? From your overall lows that we put in this year, that will be a 17% gain. And those lows were put in on June 16th. Go back to the streams in June. I was talking about how everything was kind of lining up for July. I was talking about the earnings, all the macro catalysts, everything was kind of lined up, and we had already been pricing in bad news the whole entire year. And then if you also go back to my streams on this week, I was talking about how this did not look like a bear flag to me. All of these other moves up looked like a very textbook bear flag to me earlier in the year, even though some of them I was a little bit too late to identify them. All these look like bear flags, but I was talking about how this move looked very different. It wasn't just the moving up without any laddering formations, without the consolidation. This was the big range. So just, a little bit of a back to the future segment. Like, it all started right there. And now, it's the title of the stream tonight, from what you saw in these areas, you are now witnessing the largest market rally in a year. All right, from those lows, in about 2 months, you're up 15%. Even if we just take it from this most recent low over here, in 1 month, you're up 13%. All right, that has not happened since back over here. All right, none of these rallies were a 13% rally. This is actually the largest. I don't know why I'm like emphasizing this so much. I noticed this early today. This is the largest rally the market has seen, like, since this. So, I wouldn't I don't know the technicalities on saying we're out of the bear market or whatnot, but I don't think anybody can argue that we're in a short-term bull market. And honestly, like, the bearish variables were there. If the bears wanted to kind of pull this back, keep it going, like, the opportunity was lined up so perfectly from a technical standpoint the last couple of nights that we talked about on stream. And the CPI just said nope, and there you go. So that's really where you're at for the S&P 500. It's still in autopilot mode until, I guess, it breaks these trend lines and maybe gets at some point like quadruple classic bearish divergence if something like this happens on the MACD, but that's where you're at. So that's the analysis on the SPY. Qs pretty similar, but I told you all last night that we were back testing this little support zone. Obviously you got your bounce off of that. You're testing your highs from Monday right now. If that breaks, the next resistance I see on the Qs is around 330-ish from these few highs at the end of April. And then again, support's down at this 316 area that you just literally bounced off of. 4-hour classic bearish divergence is now turning into 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. You really can't make this stuff up. Literally, as of last night, we had classic bearish divergence confirming on the MACD. And again, with this CPI data, that has now very quickly flipped into hidden bullish divergence forming on the MACD. So just when you thought the bears were finally getting control for the first time in literally like a month, boom, CPI just saves everything, at least for right now, at least for where we are currently. So your Qs closed up about 3%. The Russell 2000 also closed up about 3% today after filling that gap yesterday, putting a new high today. You are testing a small level here. You can see these lows from the beginning of April. You're going to be testing that, and then even if you are able to get above that, you have the 200-day moving average there as well. So it's not like you're completely out of the woods. You still do have some resistance, and maybe if you get above the 200-day moving average at 200, which is also a psychological level, maybe after that point, then it'll be a little bit clearer. But then you're also, I'm sure a lot of you, and I know Cheddar Freeze definitely remembers this because you were talking about that Wyckoff distribution range. Then, if we keep going, we're going to be testing the bottom of the range that we were in for a very long time. All right, for those of you who've been watching the streams pretty much since before this year, you know that literally pretty much all of last year's analysis for the Russell 2000 was we're still in the range. This is literally what it did. And in this time, the SPY and the NASDAQ, they just kept going higher. But you were just in that range, and now you're actually, like, it feels like it's like so good, and like we're running all the way back up. And we're only just testing like the lows of most of last year. Almost all of last year, I believe. I mean, literally, like, yeah. We're not even at the lows of last year. We pretty much got up to these levels right when the year started. And then you held it up until like January 20th of this year. So this whole entire zone is going to be something that we're going to be probably talking about for the next few weeks. And we're not entering it. So there you go. Again, this all started off that triangle breakout and this huge zone, which I was talking about back in June, which used to be resistance. It flipped into support. I think that was also the 50% retrace from the COVID crash low. I don't know why my arrow's not bleeding. I think that low was also on the weekly 50% retrace as well. Yeah, it was. So there you go. And again, even just like 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the classic bullish divergence on the weekly, the breakout. Like, again, I was saying this back in June, all right? These were the levels where you were seeing the signals, and now you're seeing the price action. So it's just a question of how long it lasts, but hopefully you were paying attention back then, even though it hurt a lot more. And now we're in a very different place for the market. So we also have the ARKK ETF bouncing today. Again, stalling out the classic bearish divergence, at least for right now. If we go over to the 4-hour, you were able to hold all these previous highs as your lows, and you're kind of back above the supply line in this wedge. I know Keanu Trades like to talk about this, a lot of other traders. Breaking out of bearish patterns to the upside could be a very bullish signal. Of course, it was a fake out the first time you did it. I have no clue what I just did. Let me go back. Alright, I don't know why my undo button is just not working, but everything, what am I doing? I don't know. But it was a fake out. Let's just do it very simply. It was a fake out right over here. Now you're retesting a breakout of this bearish pattern on the ARKK ETF. So there's that. And then finally, let's look at the VIX. All right. And this was kind of the concern that I had talked about, where before today, you were testing this trend line, this green trend line, where you kept bouncing off it. Literally, like all the major tops of this bear market were kind of from when the VIX tapped this trend line. So just like for fun, I mean, if you want to talk about, at least for now, being out of that bear market, maybe not forever, but at least for now, this is the first time since like the bear market started that we're actually breaking the trend line. This, like, you can look at this green line as the line of the bear market. This is the first time that you actually broke that, right? So all these tops, you know, the top you had in March for the market, like we could even just pull up, where is it? SPY. Just compare it. It all lined up. And then there you go. Now you have the SPY kind of really for the first time. It's really weird how I'm doing this, but you're getting like this large divergence. Just if you look at what's happening compared to what's been happening. And I really think something is messed up with TradingView tonight. Why did this change to a line chart? All right, give me a second. I need to. I don't think I've ever changed this. I need to find out. It says candles. It's probably the compare feature. Take that out. So there you go. So this is something very new, and I'm pretty sure I just lost like everything I drew. Let's go over to the daily. So let's just leave it at this, and there you go. I'm just getting a lot of stress right now from whatever TradingView is doing. But yeah. Sub chat in the chat. Hit the like button if you just joined the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you're completely new to the stream. Chat is saying SPY gave me weird deja vibes today. Reminds me of the 2008 bear rally to the 200-day moving average. It's a little bit scary. Different macros then. Back then was the Fed giving the banks money. Yeah, and then and in the chat saying I'm a psycho. It's 2:20 a.m. Gotta wake up in 4 hours. I don't like sleep. Maybe get some sleep. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the market. Let's talk about the swings now. The only swing that's yet to hit the target is Best Buy. It was up a few percent today. And we were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about this triangle pattern and how it was back testing it yesterday. Well, you got a slightly higher move off the back test of that mini triangle. One second, let me try something. All right, I think I know what happened. So usually, like Control Z, Command Z is like the undo command. And I'm clicking that tonight, and it's just not. So I think TradingView changed the hotkey for that. I don't know, but it's really like messing up my flow. So yeah, you saw this resistance that you're testing on Best Buy. We'll see what happens. It's kind of around 80 bucks. And this is a big one. We had FCEL. I was talking about this earlier in the stream. This hit the second target today. It went even higher. Third target currently is only 10% away. This was the most recent swing alerted in the Discord, and it is currently up 37% since it was alerted very recently. And why did I alert this? You can literally go back to the stream. I did a full breakdown on what I was looking at over here. And the reason I'm kind of talking about this all so much is because this is what you want to look at in terms of, a lot of people ask me, how do I find like these big trades and stuff like that? These are the times. Like, look at a trade that just worked out and see what the variables were. You had hidden bullish divergence, you had a large wedge pattern, and the context was huge. You were flipping. You see 3 major tops over here in terms of resistance. You were flipping that into 3 major lows of support. And all that happened. I need like a stress ball or something. Like, okay. It's okay. Why am I on the 4 hour now? I don't know. TradingView is being really weird right now. And like my whole entire ability to stream is based off of TradingView, so it's really frustrating. But there you go. All right, that was really the context. And yeah, you broke above this 440 resistance level we were talking about, and your next resistance is just under the next target's just under the 200-day moving average, which is really your next resistance. It also lines up with this low from last September. So there was FCEL, also CLOV today, very nice day, up 10% after getting demolished yesterday. And not only did it get demolished yesterday, but the price action yesterday after getting demolished was literally just barcoding going sideways. But then this morning it did kind of catch some bids with the market going higher. This is actually something that Zeek talked about when I had him on last night's stream as a guest. The potential for that happening. He did talk about this. And with that, you were able to actually, and this is something I talked about when we had the earnings sell-off on Monday evening, you were actually able to hold the previous zone of resistance as support. You flipped your resistance into support, and now you're bouncing higher. You do have this gap. It's like muscle memory for me to hit that undo button so I can take these things off my chart. And every time I do it tonight, it just messes everything up, and like it just throws me so off. I'm sorry. But what was I gonna say? See, I can't even remember now. You have this gap fill up over here from before the earnings at around like 339-ish. There you go. I need to just keep my hand away from the keyboard so I don't try and do the shortcut, which doesn't work anymore. But that's CLOV. Then we have Fisker, up 3% today. Kind of the same thing still. Fisker's just, and we've been talking about this all week, it's just been kind of closing the same area. Like you get like the wicks up and down, but the closes are all just in the same area. So Fisker for right now is just in consolidation mode. That's really it. I mean, maybe you could draw a little bit of a pattern here, forming a little bit of a triangle, and you actually are pretty close to the supply line of that. You know, you could draw it like this too. That's probably the best way to look at it. So maybe we'll just talk about whichever way this breaks out in the next couple of nights on the stream. And then we have SOFI. Again, all these already hit their targets, but SOFI did fill the gap that we talked about last night. It gapped down yesterday, filled that gap today, kind of just testing this big level over here at 770-ish from these previous highs and just a little consolidation area. So, okay, trading view, okay. Let's fix this. All right, so that's really where you're at for SOFI. And then finally we have SHAK, which was up 4% today. We talked about how this was back testing a previous resistance as support, and that actually did hold, and you went a little bit higher today again, of course, thanks to the market. This is really bad. Okay, this is really bad. Every single chart I'm doing the same exact thing. It's just like literally what I'm used to. I need a message trading view, but yeah. Unless it's on my end, I don't know. But that's pretty much it for the swings. We were also talking about AMC and GameStop last night when I had Zeek on the stream, and he was bringing up these 30-minute setups that were showing not just on AMC and GameStop, but even Tesla, and they played out pretty nicely, to say the least. So all of them pretty much had breakouts today. Zeek was talking about these last night on stream, and we got very nice moves off of all of them. Let me just... It actually might just be the undo button now that I think about it. It's not even the shortcut. I just think the undo button's not working. So let me actually delete all that stuff now. Sorry for like all this creating delays. It's just I have a very fixed system on how I navigate TradingView, and that system's not working right now. So that was pretty much the price action. Let's go over to the 15-minute. I think I already have them charted. I actually did alert AMC calls today. I think that was the only option alert today. Actually, no. It was Apple calls today. AMC calls were much earlier. Or, yeah, it was a long time ago. AMC calls I didn't alert, but I did trade AMC calls. Zeek was also sharing it in the chat, and we were talking about it in the chat. So yeah, that was just in the chat and premium. It wasn't an alert. But yeah, we were all looking at this. Zeek was talking about it like way earlier too. And just this is something we literally talked about last night on stream. And the team got together in the chat today, and we all crushed it. At least I know I did. Great trade on AMC. Yeah, just a little bit of an update on how that went. We were talking about it last night. That's really it. In terms of where it is right now, you're kind of testing a couple of these highs. Like this is a little bit of a zone here. You see this low, this high, these highs around like 24-ish. And if we kind of zoom out a little bit more, I mean, just look at this. You have 1 hour hidden bullish divergence. Like literally go back to last night's stream when I had Zeek on. This is everything we were talking about. Like how textbook of a like continuation pattern this is for AMC, like flipping previous resistances into support, okay? With the bull flag and trading you messing everything up, of course. I feel like I'm gonna like break something right now. It's really frustrating, but there you go. Let's just move on at this point. It's just messing up every single chart. So that was AMC. Zeek actually did ask me to look at Tesla on the stream tonight, which had a nice bounce today. yeah, I think Tesla is pretty much testing a breakout of this flag that it's been in for some time now. It's got pretty much 1 hour hidden bullish divergence as well. So this is a bullish continuation pattern in a bullish trend. If the technicals play out, this could be the next move. Of course, it's going to also depend on the market. And in terms of resistance, it looks like you got a little bit up over here. You got a gap fill and a couple of highs around like 918, 920, like really 915 to 930, around that area, you get it. I mean, honestly, this whole entire area, just the top of the flag pretty much. You have some highs here as well, all of that. To be more specific, like 915 to like 940, that's resistance. And then you have like that 944 level I've charted, which used to be support here, so, or 976. Let's just put it like this, all right? There's resistance pretty much everywhere over here. But up until like 915-ish, there's not a lot of resistance. So if this breakout plays out, just look out for those levels. And then I did alert Apple calls today. I think it was, let me go see who it was in the chat. Kaleidoscope shared this 5-minute wedge. I kept an eye on it for a couple of hours. It really wasn't doing anything. I had calls myself. They were just kind of flat. I think Zeek was also sharing it maybe in premium chat. Yeah. So just an Apple triangle developed, and then pretty much towards the end of the triangle I alerted calls. And these were the levels I had charted out. And the calls went up like 35% or something. Very simple. Nothing too crazy. So yeah. That was really the option trade idea alert from today. In terms of Apple in general, it just broke above a resistance level. These highs from May just got back above that. It's currently at a 786 retrace from the low back up to this high. And that actually does set up, I think, some bearish harmonic patterns on Apple now. So your C point's like a few percent shallow. I think it's fine though. So if it reverses, if Apple tops out around here, that would be a bearish cipher. Right? If it tops out at this level, and then if Apple keeps going, let's say the market gets up to like the next resistance level, because the spot's really not at resistance, it just broke resistance today, gets up to the 886, and then reverses there, that would be a bearish shark. And that actually would probably even be a little bit more technical because it would line up with these highs over here. So Apple, over the next few weeks might be approaching some very big resistance. Don't be surprised if I come back to the stream in a few weeks and Apple's starting to pull back after literally a 30% run, which is insane. That's also going to be heading into, I believe, the mid-September when they have like their conference or whatever. So maybe like a sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news event with that. I don't know, but it's going to be approaching some bearish technical areas if it keeps moving like this, and if my trading view charts decide to work one day. I don't know. All right, so that's Apple, and yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing take requests tonight. I wanted to, but trading views just really stressing me out right now. And it's like every single chart I look at, I'm gonna have to kind of like keep correcting. It's just gonna be a mess. So I'm gonna try and figure out whatever is going on with trading view and why the undo button's not working, because I use that on literally every single chart while I'm charting it. And hopefully I get that figured out, and then tomorrow night we can do take requests. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Make sure to hit the like button, get a few more likes to get up to 20, hit the subscribe button. Check out the links in the description if you want to join the Discord. If you want to join Premium, that's the first link in the description. If you want to see a walkthrough of what Premium is like, I have a full video on it.
Alright, so now
it's literally on YouTube. The way to access this video is you go to Discord, you go to the About the Noties in Premium channel, and then you click on this walkthrough Premium Chats video, and then you can see what it's like in there if you're interested. So all the links for that are in the description. The Discord link to see this video and stuff, Premium. My free course is also in the description. If you watch the streams and you're confused about all these different things and names and bullish and bearish and butterflies and divergences and hammers, all these different names I use, if you're confused about it, there's a place for you to learn them completely for free, which is my free course in the description. So you check that out as well. And that's enough promos for tonight. Thank you for watching the stream. Have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow night on stream, which will be my last stream of the month. I just realized that. Wow. I think so. Let me check. I might stream on the... No, I don't think I can on the 29th. The 30th of August I might. So pretty much my last stream of the month. I'll stream for like 2 days, so 30th and then 31st probably. So yeah, make sure you watch tomorrow night's stream, I guess, if you want. Maybe I'll try and plan something fun. We'll see. But yeah, pretty much the final stream of at least for a couple weeks tomorrow night. If you didn't see it, I did share this in the Discord. The 12th, the 29th, I'll still be in the Discord, but no streams. And if you're in premium and you're like, all right, I'm paying for premium and you're just leaving, no, I'm still going to be sharing swings at the regular amount, the watches at the regular amount, and I do share a lot of day trade options right now. It's going to be a little bit harder for me to share day trades. Maybe I'll share some here and there if I have some time, but I will be actually sharing some swingable option ideas, and we've had a couple of them do very well lately. If anybody's in premium, you remember the XLE puts that ran like thousands of % or something. Those were like literally insane. The AMC calls I think ran like 1,000% or something. So we'll see what happens. But you know, I'm gonna try my best to stay as active as possible. And it's a much easier market. I literally said it right over here. It's a lot more of a less like scalpers type of market. So it's actually kind of cool that I can sit back a little bit and not be having to stare at my screen all day like how I had to back in like March and April and May. Even though, to be fair, the option trades back then were really good. And if you want to see the stats, it's also available on the sign-up page. Everything is there. You can see all the option trade results. Just hit that link. You can see that walkthrough video, what real members have said about it. You can check that out. And if you have any questions, just DM me. So have a great night. Appreciate all the support. And I'll see you all tomorrow night on stream. All right, be there.